Hello everyone. So today on my channel, I got Anish Day, a 2023 grad from IIEST Shibpur. Anish has done his internships while his college days at some good companies like Media.net and Microsoft. So Anish, I hand over this to you. Please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone. So I am Anish, and today I will be having a conversation with Mustafizur. And if I talk about myself, so I am a 2023 grad at IIST Shibpur. I am doing my bachelor's in computer science, and like I have done my summer intern at Microsoft last year, and like I am doing my winter internship at Media.net this year. So these are the two software engineer internships that I have done. Apart from this, I have also done some problem setting and some web development interns also. So that's a brief introduction about me.
So yeah, Anish, would you like to give an overview of your educational backgrounds and everything?
Yeah, so if I start telling about my educational background, like I haven't told this like in any of my interviews. So uh, I will start from my schooling basically. So I did my schooling from Purvanchal Vidya Mandir. So it's a high school in Kolkata, and like I pursued computer science in my plus two level. Like there were two options, biology and computer science. I went for computer science. So I had coding in my high school days also. So I had like oops java and java in my plus two level. So I started coding at the age of 15 basically, like when I was in class 7. So we had something called q basic, like it's similar to c. And then from class 9 we had java, and in class 11 and 12 we had object oriented programming. So that was like my coding journey in school. And after that, like through JEE means I got into like IIST Shibpur, and like I'm pursuing my bachelor's in computer science as I told there. So it's a 4-year BTech course as usual, and like I am doing my major project in deep learning in the last year. So that's the educational background I have.
Okay, that's very nice to know that before coming to college, you had an exposure towards how coding and everything works, and you also have learned a few languages. So yeah, first question that I would like to come here is, how's life at IIST Shibpur? What would you like to describe?
I would say that the campus life is pretty decent. Like our campus is one of the most beautiful campuses in India. I can probably say that. Like there is a lot of greenery and all. But apart from that, if I tell about college life, it's also relaxed. Like we don't have pretty strict rules or pretty strict attendance criteria. Like we do have attendance criteria, but not very strict. Also, like if I talk about the curriculum, so it's the curriculum is not too, means it's not too hard, not too easy, it's pretty balanced. Okay, so things are very good. And if I talk about my department particularly, like the computer science department, so like the professors are, to be honest, very supportive. Like they don't pressurize you too much. And if I talk about the placement and other things, so this area I would say that it's not very good. Like the placement, the on campus scenario is not as good as the reputation of the college. Like means like only 2 or 3 good companies visit. Like this year only ms, google, and like some of the banks visited, like wells fargo and deutsche bank. So I would say the on campus scenario is not too good, but the other aspects like academics, campus life, hostel life are pretty much chill.
That's really good to know about the campus and everything. So particularly, I would like to know, being a national-based college where you read, what advantages have you ever seen as compared to that what a tier 3 guy gets? Anything that you get in your eyes?
First of all, I would say that the first difference I noticed, like from coming from a school to the a national level college, I would say is the peer group. Like it like I means I can say that like you can be a topper in your school and still be average here, and it's completely normal to be like that. Like you can always be a topper means you can be a topper your entire life in school, and you can just be average here. Like it's also the same for me. I would say that I was a topper in my school throughout my school, and like if I talk about my grades, I am pretty average a student here. So that's the major difference you face, like when you come from from school to a national level college, that you can have imposter syndrome, and that's perfectly normal. So but the advantage of this is that you get an awesome peer group. Like as they say, like if you are the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. But if you are in a national level college, the chances of being the smartest person in the room is very less. Even let's say if you are the smartest person in a certain field, like if I talk about CP, so maybe like I am the smartest person in the room for CP, but for development, for open source, I am far from being the smartest person. So that's the advantage. Like you always have someone who is better than you in some field, and you can aspire to be him or her in some day, and you can work hard. So I think that's the basic difference between a tier 3 and a national level, that you get an awesome peer group. And when you have an awesome peer group, like you tend to work harder and like achieve things.
Yes, so you people have a mixture of talent there. Some
Yeah,
person is definitely good at something else, and definitely something can be learned from them as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So coming to the point of your internships, would you like to describe how you went into Microsoft as an intern, and post that you made it to media.net, and what are the experiences there?
Yeah, so like the first internship that I got in Microsoft was an on campus. So like as I told that MS visits our campus every year for interns. Like they don't visit for FTEs, they visit only for interns, and they take FTEs from interns only. So last year in 2021, they visited the campus for interns, and like there were three rounds. The first one was an online assessment, and then there was two DSA and one HR. So the online assessment had around like it had three questions. Okay, it had three questions. The first question was, no, it had two questions. Sorry. So the first question was a maths and ad hoc, and the second question was a DP question. It was medium hard, I would say, and the DSA interviews were based on DSA only, as the name suggests. So the first interview was on prefix sum, and the second interview was based on a question on trees, and the last interview was a mixture of tech and HR. So they gave me an open-ended DSA question and told me that optimize it as much as you can. Like they gave me a real life problem and told me, tell me uh, as much ways as you know by how you can optimize this problem. So it was an open-ended question, and then there were basic HR questions like they discussed some of the projects I had on the resume, and like my hobbies and all. So that was the interview experience in MS. And for media.net, like it was an off-campus offer. So basically I reached out to the recruiter, like showing my interest for an SD internship at media.net. So the recruiter told that uh, I have to go through the interview and the online coding process. So again the pattern was same. There was one online coding and three interviews. The first two were DSA, and the last one was tech plus DSA plus HR all combined. So the first round was of 90 minutes, and it was of three questions. So media.net basically has typical CP questions. Like they had one DP, they had one Dijkstra question, and they had one ad hoc question. Like those are proper CP questions which we have in code forces. So I solved all three. And like then there were two DSA. Like in the first one I was asked about monotonic stack question, and in the second one it was a 2D DP question. Along with the DSA questions, they also asked some of the tech questions, like some SQL queries, some OS and DVMS concepts and all. And the last round was a combination of all. So it was mainly focused on low level system design, I would say. So they told me to design an API. So they gave me the requirements of the API and told me to design that API completely. So I broke down the requirements into functions, tried to use solid principles, but I'm not sure whether I implemented them correctly or not. But the interviewer were happy with means with the implementation I did. So I made classes, functions, implemented the functions, and so on. And then there were some HR rounds, like basic questions like, you have a PPO at MS, why do you want to again interview with media.net, and so on. So these were the two interview experiences at Media.net and Microsoft.
Okay, so working at these two places, what are the differences among their cultures and type of work you are experiencing as per you?
As for me, I would say that I get more ownership at Media.net. Like it's easier to get like means there are less number of protocols in Media.net. Like you have to go through lesser number of protocols to get something reviewed or get something approved. You just need your manager to approve it and then you are done. But in MS, like there are more number of protocols. Like your manager has to approve, then your maybe your team lead has to approve, and so on. That's the major difference. And the second difference, I would say that you get means I got more visibility in Media.net about my project. Like I become very clear like what my project is all about. And like I would also say the pace at which things go on at Media.net is faster than MS. Like like I implemented one project at Microsoft in 6 weeks. Here I implemented it in like 4 or 5 weeks. So things are more fast here. I get more visibility and it's easier to get something approved, and things are light here. Means protocols are light, I would say. So these are the major differences. And if I talk about the culture, so culture is awesome in both of them. Like you don't need to work more than 4 or 5 hours a day in each of them, to be very honest. And like that's but as like if you are working at Microsoft, like perks are also more, like you get a lot of goodies and all. So that's a trade-off between growth and perks, I would say.
Yeah, that's really nice to know about these two companies. And also, I have noticed that, and I also have observed that you are a little bit enthusiastic about startups. At
Yeah.
some of the startup initiatives, you have also invested. So, what are your views on these? I would like to know.
Basically, I have invested for equities only in one startup. That is that's simple. Also, like I lead the tech team there. Like the reason I lead the tech team, like many have asked me also, like how are you leading the tech team being such a junior level software engineer? Like you are also about to start your career, you have not started your career with. So the reason is that like it's not a tech heavy startup. Like it's a operations and marketing heavy startup. Okay, we just need to maintain one app and website for the startup. Okay, so I think I have the experience to manage someone who can maintain and build an app and a website. So that's why I'm working as a tech lead there. And if I talk about startups, like I do have interest in finance, investing, and like entrepreneurship. So I saw that the startup has a really good growth. Like it's growing at a rate of 3x per year. And like also they have a lot of untapped uh, revenue. Like there is a lot of untapped space that they are trying to cash in. So that's why I invested. Apart from that, I also have invested in some of the startups, but that those are not equity investments. Those are like buying stock appreciation rights, like buying shares. So shares is basically like you buy a share. Like let's say the price is 10 rupees now, and you have one share. So if the price goes up to 15, or let's say 15. Okay, so so the stock has appreciated by 5 rupees, and you have one share. Let's say you have two share, and the stock has increased by 5 rupees, so you will make a profit of 2 into 5, that is 10 rupees. So that's the basic idea of being sad. So I basically, so there are many websites to buy shares of various startups. So that's the thing. But majorly, like you do invest in like equities and like lesser risky options like equities, gold bonds, and so on. Like major of my investments are in those things like equities, gold bonds, and REITs, etc.
Okay, so very nice to know that you have exposure towards various fields and not only towards certain things you are focused on right now. Uh, Apart from that, you are very good in CP. That's what I know. So you are right now working as a problem setter at LeadCode. How's your experience there?
uh, I would say it is an amazing experience, like setting problems which means thousands of people use practice and uh, use them for interview preparation. So it's always nice to build something which is used by plenty of people. Okay, so the experience is awesome. Also, I would say the work culture is pretty good, and the work life balance is also awesome in LeadCode. So, and I would say that I also enjoy setting problems on LeadCode, which helps people to like prepare for interviews. So I would say it has been an awesome experience. And if I talk about the interview experience, like many people ask me about the interview at LeadCode. So to be very honest, I didn't have any interviews at LeadCode. So I saw an opening that they are hiring for problem adders. I applied there, and like after 2 or 3 weeks, I got a mail from the HR that she means that uh, they are willing to add me in their team, and they are willing to work with me as a problem adder. So whether I am interested or not, so I told them that I am interested and asked them for the interview schedule. Then she told that we don't need interviews, we can take you in the team and start working. So that was the process. So I didn't have any interviews, to be very honest. Like, so that was all about the process how I got into LeadCode.
Yeah, that's really again very nice for the LeadCode part as well. Another major question for 2023 grads I would like to ask you. What do you see that let it be on campus, let it be off campus? As a 2023 grad, what do you see how the entire recession has affected these 2023 fresher recruitment part?
Uh, I would say that it has also affected me, to be very honest. Like if you see the last year, like 2022, like plenty of companies were hiring. Uber was hiring, D-Show was hiring, Google was hiring in like foreign places, Amazon was hiring in foreign places, Microsoft was hiring in foreign places. So there are plenty of companies hiring. Like, but this time, like, uh, not many companies are hiring. Like, even like while getting the 6 month internships, like I had to really search a lot of companies. I had to really reach out to plenty of recruiters, apply at plenty of places, ask for plenty of referrals, and then got offers from two. Like, I feel that if it was 2022, I could have got at least 5 to 6 offers instead of two. So means but so I would say the numbers had surely gone down, and with the big techs laying off, so the competition has increased. And like, when companies are not hiring, you really can't do anything. Like, how much you are skilled, you really can't do anything. So that's another problem. Like, it affects you mentally, to be very honest. So it has affected, I would say. Like, I have personally felt that it has affected me also.
Yes, actually, these are quite tough times that we all are facing right now. So, whatever interviews have you given, and or any of your friends have given, whatever offers you have got, any kind of offers rescinded and all you are seeing, uh, in your locality and everything, whatever whoever are
uh,
inside your atmosphere.
uh, Basically, one of my seniors was working in Amazon UK,
Yeah.
and as far as I know that he got laid off. He is currently working in some means I don't really know, but he told that he has been affected by the layoffs, and like he was searching for a new job. So he was one of the closest seniors that I have met in college. So he was personally affected, and some of my friends also got their offers rescinded from some of the startups for recession. And but they got other offers too soon. So like, things have been tough. Like, many has been personally affected. I may not have been directly affected, but indirectly, like, I also have been affected. Like, as I told you, like, getting offers is much harder now. Like, no good companies hiring now, so it's pretty tough.
Yes, and okay, so from your experiences, what will you suggest the 2023 grads or the upcoming batch? What topics they should prepare more? I think you are giving more OAs right now, more interviews. What topics, and is low-level design, as you mentioned, is it a very important topic to be prepared nowadays?
Yeah, I would say that as you have to give online coding rounds, like you have to give online coding rounds at some point of your life. So also, like someone told me that segment trees, these that are not required for interviews, but uh, with my personal experience I can say that if you're giving online coding rounds, everything is useful. Like I have personally used segment trees, I have personally used Fenwick, and I have also personally used tries and all in online coding rounds. Also, like I have also got interviews like where like lazy segment tree was used. Okay, in my grad interviews I implemented a red black tree, which is a pure CP topic, like red black trees. Okay, so don't try to means think that this is CP, this is not for interviews, let me skip this. So if you have time, just go and prepare. And for the low level design, like it's very important. Like most of the companies ask for low level design in the last round. What they do is that they give you an open ended question and they tell you to design a system which will do their work. So generally when you are doing a design, you can't do everything in a single code. You have to break down into functions. Each function has a single responsibility and implement them. So if you know a bit of LLD, like just the basics, I would say, or if you know object oriented programming, I think means I think anyone can get through that last round. And like also, like it's good if you know the basics of high level system design, like what is sharding means, and like mono difference between microservices, monoliths, and a few basic system designs like Netflix, WhatsApp, Instagram, etc. So I think that will be helpful, and a bit of CS fundamentals as well, like some basic SQL queries, the OS concepts, the networking concepts, difference between TCP IP, where which one is more beneficial, and some means just the basic concepts of all this. Like what I'm trying to say that like just DSA will not be enough in most of the cases. You need to be complete, means you need to have a complete knowledge of the other topics, not a complete knowledge but a basic knowledge of the other topics as well.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Anish, for sharing your precious time with us. And a lot of help people will be getting from this talk. And thanks a lot for coming to my channel and sharing the experiences.
Thank you, it was a great experience for me as well.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.